My husband of 2 weeks said that he could see himself cheating on me in the future. 2 weeks. We still had wedding cake in the freezer. The thank you cards were stacked on the coffee table, half of them still blank. My dress was still hanging on the back of the closet door because I couldn't bring myself to box it up yet. That's how new this marriage was. We got back from the honeymoon last Sunday, 10 days in Mexico. He held my hand on the plane the whole way home. I remember thinking, I actually married the good one. So Thursday night we're on the couch. I'm writing thank you cards. He's got a beer. Some game is on low in the background. Normal night. Then he mutes the TV and says he's been thinking about something and wants to be honest with me. I said okay, figuring it was about money or the holidays with his family, and he says it, calm as anything. He could see himself cheating on me someday. I laughed. I actually laughed because he has a dark sense of humor and I was sure this was a bit. But he didn't laugh. He said, give me a second to explain. You're going to take this the wrong way. So I let him explain, and it got worse. He said, cheating isn't really that bad if you think about it right. He said, if he ever slipped up down the road, it would only prove that nobody compares to me. He'd miss me the whole time. He'd come home more sure than ever that I'm the one. He said, think about it. How do I know you're the best if I never check? He called it confirming, not cheating. Confirming. He even had a timeline. Not now, he said. Obviously not now. He meant year 10, year 15, whenever things got stale. Like it was scheduled maintenance. Like our marriage came with a service plan. So basically, I'm the control group in his little experiment. 14 days into our marriage, and my husband is describing his future affairs like a loyalty test he plans to pass by failing. And the whole time his eyes were steady. That's the part that got me. No nerves, no punchline coming. He'd clearly thought about this a lot. When I asked how long he'd been sitting on this theory, he shrugged and said he'd talked it through with his older brother a while back, and his brother agreed it made sense. A while back, as in before the wedding. As in he stood at that altar with this fully loaded in his head. He smiled at my dad. He danced with my grandma. He gave a toast about forever. My stomach dropped through the floor. I was holding a card that literally said, thank you for celebrating our love. I wanted to cry, but something in me went cold and quiet instead, and I got curious. I said, you know what? That actually makes sense. He blinked. He was not expecting that. I said, maybe I should do the same thing. Compare you to a couple of other men over the years, just to confirm you're my forever. Same logic, right? If you're really the one, I'll come back more sure than ever. The color left his face so fast I thought he was going to faint. Suddenly, it was completely different. Suddenly, if I did it, I'd be a cheater, a homewrecker, someone who never took our vows seriously. But him, he'd just be doing research. His words, doing research. I asked what happens if his little confirming trip goes wrong. What if one of them turns out to be better? He said that wouldn't happen, like that was supposed to comfort me. I asked him to explain the difference to me, slowly, like I was 5. He couldn't. He just kept getting louder. He said I was twisting his words. He said he was being honest and I was being cruel. Cruel. For repeating his own theory back to him with the names swapped. Then he actually said it. He said, it's different. You don't get tempted the way men do. You don't know what it's like. 14 days ago, this man cried during his vows. Now I'm learning he thinks being faithful is a chore he's owed a break from, and mine should just come free. He tried to hug me at one point. Said, babe, you're missing the point. This is a compliment. A compliment. He genuinely believed telling his brand new wife he plans to test drive other women someday was a gift. I asked if our vows had an expiration date I didn't know about. He said, now I was just being dramatic. He said this is why he waited until after the wedding to bring it up, because he knew I'd overreact. Waited until after the wedding. He said that part out loud and didn't even hear it. He paced the kitchen for 10 minutes, opened the fridge, closed it, started 3 sentences and finished none of them. I just sat there on the couch with the pen still in my hand and the TV still on mute. Finally, he came back over and knelt down in front of me, and for 1 second I honestly thought he was going to apologize. He grabbed my hand instead, dead serious, almost shaking, and he said, promise me you'd never actually do that. I asked if he'd promise me the same thing. He looked me dead in the eyes 14 days after our vows and said, that's not the deal.